This is that Cub Cadet that I bought for, I can't remember, I think it was $100 and a chainsaw. Anyway, I sold it recently. I got $500 for it. And I kind of wished I had done it before I sold it, because in the back of my mind I thought I probably should. But the valve cover gasket is dripping oil. Here, I'll show you. It's dripping oil onto the muffler shroud, and it's smoking. And he thought the engine was smoking, and he thought I may have pulled one on him. I said, no, I know what it is, and I regret not replacing it. I told him it was a valve cover gasket, and I will take it home and fix the valve cover gasket, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the valve cover off. I'm gonna drop this muffler, take the shroud off of it, and I'm sure, see, this had a bad head gasket too, and it was just full of oil down here. So I'm sure underneath this shroud, there's probably some schmutz still stuck on the muffkin, to coin a phrase. Taro fixes all, that's what he calls them, the muffkin. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take this off, and I don't have a tripod with me. This is my new phone, and I got to get something that will hold it, and I don't have my case bright light on here, so it's not as bright as it usually is. But let me get these two things off and the shroud off, and I'll show you just how much oil is under there, if any. I don't know that there will be. No, so I'm good with here. It was just dripping on top of this here, right here. It was dripping here and then smoking. So I'm gonna clean that up, take this valve cover gasket off, and put some sealer on it. There's nothing wrong with the gasket, but I'm gonna put some sealer on it and let it set for an hour or so, and put this back together. Alrighty, I got a little bit of gasket material under it and a little bit on top of it. Now I'm gonna put this on there, and I'm just gonna snug it up. If this wasn't Sunday and I lived closer to town, I'd go ahead and put a new gasket on there, but the bottom of the gasket is just fine. The top of the gasket is a little bit brittle, but this gasket sealer, this will be good enough for the next 10 years or so, until the next time somebody takes this off. But you know, these valves have been adjusted, so there really won't be a need to take this off, you know, for a long time, because what does it have, 250 hours on it? So probably another 250 or 300 hours for valve adjustment. And this is my next door neighbor, so I don't mind adjusting the valves for them if I'm still alive and they're still alive. So let me get this snugged up. Alrighty, I got it snugged down there. I'll give this a couple 3 hours, and I'll tighten it down. In the meantime, I'm gonna hit that with some brake cleaner and clean the residual oil off of that, and then put that muffler back on there, and bring it back to them late tonight. All right, I got everything back together, and it's 10:30 in the morning, so about 3 o'clock this afternoon I'll come out and I'll tighten these 4 bolts down a little more, snug them up good and tight, and bring this back to them. Should be good to go for another dozen years. Hell, this thing's 15 years old. 15 years old, and it's only got 250 hours on it. And when I rebuilt this, I rebuilt it with the intention of keeping it. My wife liked it, so I put new tires on it and all new belts, new battery. It's in great shape. The only thing that was bad was that gasket, and I'll tell you the truth, I kind of thought to myself when I was putting head gasket on that if I lived closer to town, I'd have just gone and got me a head gasket or ordered one, because I mean, not a head gasket, a valve cover gasket, But I was anxious to get it put back together. It's good now though. My town hired a guy to replace water lines. Actually, they went underneath the road over to the main water line, and then they replaced them all the way down the road. And then here they went all the way, yeah, you can't see, all the way down here and through my neighbor's yard over to the street behind me. And that's not what I want to tell you about. Where do you think they put the water valve? Right in front of my freaking driveway. Can you believe it? They couldn't go put the water valve, you know, 8 foot this away or 8 foot that away. They put it right dead center in front of my gate. There's some thinking ahead for you.